Hello and welcome to Radio Blog 15. Wow, getting through these on. So yeah, pretty good blog today. We've got a very special guest. That's Bobby Bogoblin from Radio Blog 4, and he'll be hosting this week's film review. So yeah, that'll be good. Got more heralds, and yeah, that's about it. So before I get to anything, I just want to thank you all again for helping me to get to. I've got 102 now. So yeah, I know there was a video, but thank you everyone for helping me get to 102 subscribers. So yeah, as I said, I'm missing out shout-outs today. So yeah, basically everyone who watches, that doesn't make sense. Everyone who's watching, everyone who watches, hello. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Bobby. So yeah, here's Bobby with a review on The Son of Rambo.
Hi, Robert McCann here with a film review of Son of Rambo, a comedy set in the 80s where children Will Proudfoot and Lee Carter make a film based on Rambo First Blood. As they go through this humorous journey, they encounter several problems due to Will's religion, and the film holds some really good messages. I thoroughly enjoyed this film and recommend anyone to go and see it. I love the way the film revolves around the cartoons that Will draws in his books. Sometimes you get these little animations, which you'll see one in a minute. But it's just a fantastic film, and I have to say, I do love the flying dog. Flying dogs! 5 stars. Just rent it out on DVD or something. It's great. Just a wonderful film. It's an amazing film.
Don't be stupid. It's not you, it's them. I hate them. Look, I'm sorry, okay? It was better when it was just us two.
They won't send us to your school. He said the pupils are a bad influence.
Yeah, as Bobby said, Son of Rambo, not the. Yeah, I just said that because I'm a pillock. Anyway, yeah. So that's that I've been done with. Thank you for that, Bobby. And yeah, next up is the Heralds. So yeah, the Heralds, sir. It was a club founded here. Only a small circle of boys were admitted, however. Their activities have never been divulged to the outside community for fear of scandal, but have been handed down to generations of headmasters. Among the files we still have the photos of that group. I dare say you'd probably recognise one of them. The headmaster's gaze pierced through me with a quivering smile.
"What nonsense, headmaster," rebuked matron. "How would he recognise anyone from a photo of hundreds of years ago? I'll go and fetch you some more water, dear. I'll be back shortly." She twittered irritably and left the room with the empty jug. Her ignorance of the full picture in the matter cut her off from the intensity of the anxiety I was labouring at that time, which was restraining me with the headmaster. If what had happened wasn't indeed a dream, then I wasn't sure whether matron and other members of staff had been fully informed of the details. However, I knew I could totally divulge everything to headmaster. I felt he, above everybody else, knew. Finally, I was able to break the silence. "Have you seen him too, sir?" This seemed to take him by surprise. My very directness startled him visibly. He seated himself on a chair next to my bed. Yes, I have. He was the ringleader. If it hadn't been for him, none of the horrible events that ensued would have occurred. He was, as I read in the files of the time, a very charismatic boy, and possessed considerable charm to put pupils and teachers alike were susceptible. This very susceptibility was the very reason that the kind of activities that the heralds were involved in remained unnoticed. When it was all discovered, it was, of course, too late. "But what did they do exactly?" I asked this, but I half knew the sort of answer that would follow. The heralds were a satanic set. Until then, they had been ordinary boys, not in any way different from any of you now. So what went wrong? His influence, of course.
I have no idea how that interest developed in him, but when it did, he had no trouble in finding others to join him. One night, a senior master discovered them in one of the classrooms in the main school building, practicing one of their ceremonies. A local boy from the village was found tied up, about to be submitted to torture. Thank God the master came when he did. What happened afterwards, however, was inexplicable. Well, as you might expect, all 9 of the heralds were given heavy duties to perform for the rest of the term as detention, but... "What?" I exclaimed. "Were they not expelled?" Those boys' parents were among the governors and fundraisers of the school. Expulsion for their sons would have meant the certain closure of the school, you see. Anyway, as I was saying, within a few days of that incident, all 9 of them, the heralds, contracted a severe strain of fever. The notes of the time describe the symptoms, after they had been infected for several days, as being of those of malaria. The odd thing was that no one else in the school had been infected. Notes suggest that the ceremony they had been practicing that night backfired on themselves. What, like retribution, sir? Well, something like that. Eventually, a few days later, they all died. Last of all to go was he. It was reported that his dying words were something along the lines of, "Heralds on this school will descend." Their parents had been summoned immediately once the symptoms of malaria were confirmed, but by the time they arrived, they had all died. The speed of their demise and the mysterious circumstances of the outbreak of the malady itself were scientifically unexplainable, leaving the physicians absolutely baffled. The parents themselves, wanting to press charges against the school and trying to find the remotest data that could somehow avenge their son's death, were totally impotent. Nothing was there as evidence, and no blame could be assigned, and yet all 9 boys had died. The void, the distress and incomprehensibility for those parents must have huge... Suddenly something occurred to me. That's exactly the feeling I got when he appeared to me. It felt as though I was experiencing what he was feeling. Not only physical pain from the fever, but that kind of inconsolable sorrow that both the heralds and their parents must have felt at that tragedy. It is called symbiosis, the transmission of feelings, of emotions, from one person to another. It must have been very powerful, with you shortly afterwards getting ill. Fortunately, you are on the mend now. That would also explain what happened while you were unconscious. Yes, I know, Matron told me. What was I saying? It was all in Latin. It sounded like the sort of things the heralds would have recited at their ceremonies. However, now there is something you can do which no one else has been able to do. I found myself suddenly sitting straighter as this unexpected request took me by surprise. So yeah, a pretty shabby reading of the heralds today, sorry. So we'll have more heralds next week, which I think I'll be finishing it then. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go now. I just want to say thanks again to everyone helping me get to 103 subscribers now. It's gone up since the start of the blog. Thanks to everyone for that. Thanks to Bobby for doing that special review for me. Thanks to you all for being so great. So I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.